Hello and welcome to the channel. The Department of State Service (DSS) has intercepted a plot to cause nationwide unrest by some unnamed persons. The polity has already been heated following the 2023 general elections. A lot of people feel aggrieved, politicians and individuals alike. There has been a lot of inciting comments as well, especially from candidates who feel hard done by. So this one is coming as no surprise really. Let's get to the report proper for details. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. DSS raises alarm over plot to cause nationwide violence. The Department of State Service warned on Saturday that there were plots by some elements to stoke nationwide violence that could disrupt peace, law and order in the land. But the DSS quickly warned those behind the evil plan to abandon their plot or be dealt with in accordance with the laws of Nigeria. The alarm was contained in a statement made available to Vanguard by the Public Relations Officer of the DSS, Dr. Peter Afunanya. The statement said, "The service hereby warns those desperate to cause a breakdown of law and order to desist from that. It is evident that some aggrieved politicians are already taking advantage of this legal process. This, without a doubt, is the beauty of democracy. It is strongly believed that this approach enhances peace and security. All and sundry should cherish it. Be that as it may, the DSS will not tolerate a situation where persons and/or groups take laws into their hands and champion anarchy. Those peddling fake news, hate speech, and all forms of false narratives as basis to ignite violence or pit the people against the present or incoming administrations at the federal, state, and parliamentary levels should stop forthwith. Those inciting violence have nothing to gain, as doing so will not only consume them, but also the innocent. It is otherwise disturbing to see respected personalities use their platforms to mislead or incite citizens. This, to say the least, does not augur well for peaceful coexistence and general order. Therefore, the service will continue to take necessary measures to checkmate these elements who do not wish the country well. This is to ensure that a conducive environment is provided for citizens and residents to pursue their legitimate businesses. A stitch in time, they say, saves 9. Let's all be guided, Afunanya warned. Recall that the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council (APC-PCC) had petitioned the Director General of the Department of State Service (DSS), Yusuf Mogaji Bichi, against the presidential candidate of the Labor Party (LP), Peter Obi, and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed. In the petition letter dated 23 March 2023, the APC campaign alleged that Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed's post-election utterances and conduct bordered on incitement and treasonable felony. The Minister for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, via his Twitter handle on Thursday, asserted that the Council of the APC call for peace and national healing does not amount to weakness. The petition comes hours after Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed declared that Nigeria has no president-elect. According to him, while featuring on channels, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu can't be seen as the president-elect because the certificate of return he holds is a dud certificate with no value. According to Dati Ahmed, we cannot have a president-elect when there has been a constitutional breach. There is a clear interpretation of Section 134 and INEC's interpretation of Section 134. Responding to Keyamo, the head of the Obidati Media Office, Diran Onifade, has described the calls on the Department of State Service (DSS) to arrest the presidential candidate of the Labour Party (LP), Peter Obi, and his running mate, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, as a joke no Nigerian should take seriously. Diran Onifade told Vanguard that Keyamo's call was unworthy of a response because it was a huge joke. Such a call is a huge joke nobody should take seriously, he said. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Also speaking in support of Peter Obi and his vice presidential candidates, a shifting of Ohanaeze Ndigbo Okechukwu Isiguzoro has called on the Department of State Services (DSS) to instead arrest the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo. While speaking to Daily Post, the Secretary General of Ohanaeze accused Keyamo of trying to inflame those calling for an interim government to prevent the swearing-in of the president-elect, Bola Tinubu. He stated that the minister was trying to burn down Nigeria by calling for Peter Obi's arrest over alleged inflammatory remarks. Isiguzoro said, Keyamo wants to burn down Nigeria. Any action that would inflame the country's heightened tension should be discouraged. Keyamo would inflame those against Tinubu being sworn in on May 29. Keyamo is doing more harm than good to Tinubu, and it's high time Tinubu disassociated himself from the minister's unnecessary outbursts. The call for Peter Obi's arrest is an attempt to send the obedient to the streets for protest. Ohanaeze has done everything to ensure that obedients in the southeast are respectful and obey the law. DSS should arrest Keyamo instead of inviting Obi for questioning for attempting to inflame the country and incite violence. Obi is not a security threat. In light of this, Ohanaeze is calling for the arrest of Keyamo for trying to incite violence across the country because the consequences of his letter will consume democracy. It will strengthen the agitation for those calling for an interim government. You can confirm that there is a protest for an interim national government. Keyamo is among the people who want to derail democracy and institute an interim government. Ohanaeze is therefore calling on the DSS to invite Keyamo for questioning and provide evidence of why Obi should be arrested. Meanwhile, INEC assured on Saturday that it would conduct credible supplementary governorship election in Adamawa State that will be the pride of Nigerians and of the international community. INEC's Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, gave the assurance in Abuja when some women staged the protest at the Commission's headquarters in respect of the Adamawa election. The protesters were led by the President, National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS, Lami Lau. INEC had earlier in the week declared the 18 March governorship election in Adamawa as inconclusive. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.